What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Tech Tony podcast. Now, a couple things have been updated. Hopefully, I look a little bit better because these podcasts aren't live, but they do go up online. And latest and greatest news is Netflix wants podcasts. It wants video podcasts. So maybe someday you'll get to watch Tech Tony on Netflix. That'd be interesting. We'll see what happens there. I don't know how to do that. That's just going to announce today. But I'm sitting here with my business partner, my best friend, Tim Tompkins with Tompkins PPC and his agency as well. And something I've been wanting to talk about, which is really interesting to see Google Ads work. And I say that because every business should be using Google Ads. Depending on the business, depends on how much investment you're going to be making in Google Ads. But something that is really successful is events and ticket sales to those events. We have a handful of clients that is what they depend on, is butts in seats, people physically showing up to watch an event, show up, spend money at these places. And there are some pretty interesting creative ways and hurdles as well as everything else when it comes to running Google Ads. But before I go any further, make sure to like, share, and follow because it really helps keep the content free for everybody. And Tim, for the people that don't know, introduce yourself, man. Who are you? What do you do? Who are you? Why are you here?
Thanks for having me on, Tony. I appreciate it. This is the fourth time that I've been on the Tech Tony podcast. It's an honor. You're a legend. You're a savant in the PPC world. Everywhere I go, they're talking about Tech Tony. Every single conference I go to, your name gets brought up. It's pretty crazy. So it's nice to be on. But yeah, I've been running Google Ads specifically for about 10 years, but I've been in marketing, specifically event marketing, not to date myself, but for a little over 20 years. So I know that that's going to be a topic of our conversation today is concert and event marketing. So I'm excited to get into it and share some of the experience, strength, and hope that we have from running ads for clients.
And for those for people that don't know, Tim actually has quite the experience when it comes to events because he used to put on some pretty good concerts back in the day, I've been told.
Yeah, produced concerts for a living from the time I was 17 to about 30, tour managed and that sort of thing. And I'm a little bit upset, honestly, that I wasn't using Google Ads to promote my events back then because I think we would have been far more successful in a lot of those.
MySpace. Well, we had MySpace back then. Was Google Ads back? Google Ads wasn't running yet. It was MySpace.
No, Google Ads was running. I just didn't know how to do it. I was a youngin'.
Oh, you're not like one of these guys that we see online right now. They're 17, 14 years old. They're like, I'm a Google guru. Like, bro, you just left the house. Like, chill.
Give it time. Give it time. We are not green behind the ears. The gray hair proves it.
Oh. And the long beard. This took a while to grow.
It did. It's looking sharp though.
So Tim, along with when it comes to Google Ads and with anything, we need a website to run Google Ads to your event. It doesn't have to be fancy. We've worked with some pretty not best websites, but we're still able to see success. But with the success, where we're running Google Ads, is people have to remember this isn't a billboard. We don't just run ads for the sake of running ads, and people just happen to see it. These ads are targeted under what's called Performance Max. Can you give a little more detail on that, Tim? Because a lot of people, when they think of ads, they think of it as a billboard. That's not what this is.
Sure. So Google Ads, to your point, unlike a billboard, like if you think of a billboard, side of the road, you put it up and then everybody that drives by sees it automatically. Google Ads doesn't quite work that way. Every campaign needs to ramp up and needs to go through a certain optimization process and those sorts of things before you really start hitting your target market with it. And honestly, if ads are run properly, the business owner will never see the ad. You know, because why would we want to be targeting the person that is throwing the event or owns the shop already? And I know that can be challenging for a lot of business owners to really grasp their head around, especially, you can turn on the radio and you can hear your voice randomly saying your commercial to anyone between the age of 25 and 54, right? Whereas our ads, you aren't going to see nearly as often. However, we're going to have them in front of the highest probable customer or client that you can have, somebody that is in market or is actively searching for a product or service that you serve or sell.
We have some pretty good successes. We have a couple clients. One of them is Glider Promotions. Before they met us, their website was a complete disaster and their ticket sales were hurting. I don't mean to brag, but our last And I'm going to give Tim the credit because he is the one handling this account. But his last event, we actually sold it out. And the owner, Rob, actually was turning people away because the fire marshal was there and there were too many people at the event. It's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have. And at this point, we have a bit of experience running campaign strategies for event marketers specifically. This is the third one in a row that was either double the attendance of the year or the event prior or had sold out. And really what we're running is we're running something called display advertising, which is banner ads on websites. Now, the cool thing about display advertising is you only pay when somebody clicks.
Yep.
But the real value comes from the impression, from somebody seeing the ad, somebody seeing that the event is coming up, and you not having to pay for that. So we have these really targeted display campaigns where we'll do placement advertising, which is, let's say that you are a MMA company and you want to show your ads on specific websites that talk about MMA for your MMA event coming up of people that were within your geography. Another way that we target is showing your ads on websites that talk about specific subjects. So maybe, again, if we have an MMA client throwing a fight coming up, we might make sure that we target websites that have the words MMA or UFC on them. And then the third way that we target is we create an audience avatar, a mix of signals. We get to know who the ideal client or prospect is for the event. And then we create an avatar that serves them ads in a pretty interruptive marketing standpoint. Like I was saying before, with the value really being the ad view, not the ad click, is traditionally we have been able to get ad views, that's CPM is the metric, cost per 1,000 views, at 10% what it would cost on virtually any other platform, whether that's radio, certainly TV, billboard, anything like that, and they're way more targeted.
And so for business owners listening to this, or people that put on events and shows and things like that, so when you run Google Ads, and we're talking about Performance Max or just display, Tim?
Standard display, but we use Performance Max with restaurant owners and websites that are trying to get foot traffic and that sort of thing. Specifically with the events, though, so far our winning strategy for it has been within display.
Yes. So you need a website, step one, because we got to collect data. Data is the name of the game. Number two, display ads are images. So we're going to need content. Hopefully for your event and venue, you have content made, and there are very specific regulations that Google requires, which they're easy to follow, by the way. They're not hard to do. We send those to our clients, slap it into Canva, boom, here comes your stuff. But it's like, what we're trying to say here is that when it's unlike a billboard, like Tim mentioned earlier, the client probably not going to see his ads. Unlike a billboard, it's targeted people that have shown interest or habit of going to these type of events, buying tickets to these places to show up to them on blogs, on possible YouTube videos, on the site somewhere, anywhere where an image can show up on desktop or mobile. That's where these display ads show up. So it's showing up to people that have the highest intent to purchase tickets or show up to your event. This isn't just a waste of money where we're unlike radio, TV, specifically those in billboards, we're not just blasting it to people hoping for the best. It's recorded data, and they're cheap and way more effective than any other form of advertising that I've seen personally as well.
Sure, we're normally able to get cost per 1,000 views at sub 50 cents, which is just absolutely incredible. Even if that was broad stroke targeting, that would be incredible. But again, this is absolutely targeted. It's fairly easy as long as a client comes to us and we really would like a 90-day runway. Between knowing when the event is coming, being able to get the creative and everything going, really being able to get the customer avatar down and come up with a strategy specific for your event. We can work with a little bit less time, but generally speaking, if we have 90 days, we haven't had an experience yet, knock on wood, where we haven't delivered excellent value to a client.
I really like that. And so there's also a time period. Yeah, that's right. So if you're listening, you want to reach out to us and run your ads. We got to have time to do this. You can't just design an ad, throw it up there, and just kind of hope for the best. Google has this whole thing. First of all, it's got to be approved by Google. Then it goes into a learning mode, and then we're finally able to collect that information. And Tim and Colton, or me, depending on who's running the account, has to go in there and be able to read that information and be able to make adjustments as needed, so that we get your actual proper avatar for you. Especially if this is the first time you're doing it. We've had one client that was the first time. The majority of our clients, I dare say, are pretty matured accounts now, so we have a good idea. We mentioned a lot this MMA company because they're probably one of our bigger successes currently that are also running ads consistently. Another client that Tim has, who is it that does that? Is it a city event or something in South Carolina?
I won't say because I signed an NDA for it, but it is a city-specific
Never mind.
Yearly event. It's okay. We don't have to say who it is specifically, but yeah, it's a city-specific yearly event where we quite literally doubled traffic from the previous year.
We just keep talking about Gladiator Promotions then.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'm sure Robert won't mind the free advertising on the podcast.
GladiatorPromotions.com, MMA in Southern Alabama, North Florida, over on the Pensacola side of things.
That's right. Make sure you purchase your tickets on their website. Now, we do run into some hurdles, like, for example, with Gladiator Promotions. Once that click is done on their website and they leave the site to buy the ticket, we we do lose the tracking. It is a third-party system. It is what it is. The tracking isn't always perfect, but I want to make it very clear. It's the intent. We are advertising to people that have either bought tickets to events like this in the past or display the habits of somebody that would want to show up and buy tickets to these type of events, which is like the craziest thing in Google being able to dictate those type of people. It's just the amount of data that we're collecting on them and the precision of the targeting is laser spot on when it comes to Google Ads. And I can't really speak for Facebook or other type of marketing because we're PPC guys, not social media marketers, both of us. But when it comes down to Google, I cannot stress the importance of that laser targeting that clients have. Well, I'm sorry, Google has.
I couldn't agree more. Well, I appreciate you having me on, Tony. What's your website? How do people get a hold of you? Event promoter. I'm event promoter A. I want you to run my digital ads. How do I get a hold of Tech Tony? What's the easiest way?
You can find me at Pathfinder Digital Marketing, or you can find Tim at TompkinsPPC.com, and both of us hang out on LinkedIn as well, where you can find us for any of your advertising needs. But remember, give us at least a 90 days heads up because we're good, but like we don't do miracles. We did have that one miracle with Jake's events.
Yes, that's true. Well, I appreciate you having me on, Tony. It was fun to catch up until I see you on the next round. But until then, I'm looking forward to bringing more feet to somebody's event coming up. Next time, it's going to be Gladiator Promotions, but hopefully it's going to be to you listening right now.
Goodbye.
All right, good enough. No.